It's time for the Yegor Sharangovich Hour with Mike Gould and Bobby Germany, also known as Afterburner, after a 7-4 Calgary Flames win over the Buffalo Sabres. People in the chat are already talking about how a top 3 pick is going to be a pipe dream, and we are here to break it all down on an absolutely glorious night for the Calgary Flames. Holy smokes, Bobby. We're going to get into it. There's lots and lots to talk about tonight, but right off the top, we got to tell you Afterburner is a presentation of Bet365. Whatever your bet, it is never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. Use that code NATION. Hope you bet the over tonight. Holy smokes, 7-4. If you watched the warmies before the game, you would have known the over was the smart bet. I said this was going to be a high-scoring, entertaining game, and while I'm not sure if it was entertaining for the whole duration, it certainly was high-scoring. These two teams combined for 11 goals. That's fewer than 365, but still, it's not so bad. So get on over to Bet365, and every time the Flames and Sabres play each other, just bet the over. And hey, before we get into it, proceeds from the Super Chat, or proceeds from Afterburner Super Chats, go to the Youth Centers of Calgary. You want to get the Super Chats in there. We want to get all the comments and all the good stuff up on our screen. Youth Centers of Calgary is a place where kids are welcomed and accepted as they are, where they can get a break from the chronic stress that is the reality for many of their lives, when they can flourish through connections and fun. And here we are, Bobby. Folks in the chat are saying long time no see. And you're back on the Afterburner. We're thrilled to have you back with us on the show. And we picked just a fantastic game for you to come back on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you didn't watch this game and you saw the scoreline, you're like 7-4. Like, damn, that must have been an exciting game. Like, this is incredible. But then you watch it, I'm like, geez, that might have been like the most low event 7-4 game I've ever watched in my life. And like the Saddle Dome was just a library, is silent there. Like, I mean, there wasn't much to cheer about, but hey, I mean, at least they did give us 11 goals, like you said. You summed it up perfectly there.
Apparently, the expected goals in all situations tonight, according to Money Puck, 5.05 to 5.03.
Really?
That's one of the closest I've ever seen. And I will be honest with you, Bobby. They combined to score 11 goals tonight. I was expecting the expected goals tonight to be at around 4 or 5.
That's why I'm shocked to hear that like both sides were 5
yeah,
each. That's pretty surprising.
It is surprising to me. But hey, the Flames, they come out of it with 7 goals. And wouldn't you know it, Bobby, dark mode is now over. The Flames will not wear their Blasty jerseys again until March.
Yeah, thank God for that.
Well, if you're on Team Tank, that's right, because they are undefeated in their Blasty jerseys, winning 3 straight, in theory, all winnable games against Minnesota, Utah, and Buffalo. And wouldn't you know it, they win them all, looking good in the process. They're sharp uniforms, and here they are, still near the bottom of the Western Conference, but no longer alone in last place.
That was a hell of a jersey matchup tonight. Even like those Sabre whites are so clean. They look so good. Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, the Flames are only wearing Blasty, I think, 6 times this year.
That's right.
Is quite low for them, because normally they're wearing them like 12 to 15 times. Yeah. Which I'm a little surprised about. I kind of wish they were wearing them a little bit more this season. I like them.
And I understand, next year when they have their 4th jersey coming in, it'll probably be about the same.
Are you breaking news right now?
Oh, no. This is not. I broke this. This is not new news. They're bringing back the 04s next year.
That's awesome.
They're bringing back the Black Seas, and so I would expect they probably wear both of those 6 times next year. But yeah, it's a little.
Are you talking the 04s, or are we going with like the flag patches from like 08 kind of thing? No. Okay, thank God for that.
Not the flags. Not the flags. Good. No. Yeah, no. It's going to be the actual 04. It's sort of a farewell to the Saddle Dome type thing.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be nice, and it'll be a nice little compliment. It'll be beautiful. They'll
have one of the best jersey sets in the entire NHL with those.
They already do.
Like, those are incredible. I mean, they already have one of them right now, but you add a Black Sea into the mix. Oh, baby, yeah. That's good.
Yeah, we've talked about it a little bit on the warmies, just sort of asking the people what player on the current Flames they would get on the back of an 04 jersey. Of course, my answer right away was Dustin Wolf, because Mika is a similar type player. But yeah, the Blasties are not for everybody. Our buddy Kent Wilson, not a fan. Our buddy Ryan Pike, tepid, I would say, is the manner in which I would describe his feelings about those uniforms. But I like them. I like them. They're different. They break it up. I don't know if I necessarily like them wearing them in these spurts. I would rather them maybe be sprinkled throughout the year. But in any event, they are 3-0-0 in the Blasty uniforms this year. And tonight they put up 7 goals. It was a killer night for the Flames offensively. And it's the line that we've sort of been talking about, at least on the warmies for a little bit, and on some of the Afterburner shows. the Kadri line, driving the bus again for the Flames tonight. Nazem Kadri, Yegor Sharangovich, and Joel Farabee. Kadri and Sharangovich both with 3 points tonight, I believe, looking off the top. Texting Pat Steinberg throughout the game, asking him who was going to be the first star. He was sort of flip-flopping. Ends up being Kadri at 1, Yegor at 2, and Joel Farabee ends up with just the 1 assist. But
he should have scored in that empty net late in the game when he lost control of the puck. That was hard to watch. I'm like, come on, dude. How do you not put that in?
What are you doing, buddy? Yeah, I was watching that just being like, oh, man. But then Yegor scored anyway. Rasmus Dahlin named the 3rd star of this game with a goal and an assist. But yeah, that line just continues its excellent play and sort of goes back to the whole notion of the Flames individuals have become a lot more comfortable in their surroundings since they stopped bouncing around so much.
Yeah. Sharangovich is a prime example. Connor Zary is a prime example of that. And that was the whole point in sending Rory Cairns back down to the American Hockey League, was to get Zary and Sharangovich going. And it's looking like that might have been a pretty good decision by them, even though there were a lot of people that were not happy to see Cairns go back down to the Wranglers.
Yeah, I mean, I think there will be opportunities. I do think, and I've said this for a little while, I like Rory Cairns. I think he's a good player. I think he's a little Glenn Gaudeny for me, but I think he still has plenty of upside. I think he'll get more opportunities. But yeah, the Flames have struggled this year to find spaces for all their bodies. To start the year, they had 10 guys who they wanted to have in the top 9. And, you know, with Sam Honzek being injured, it sucks. It's brutal. And you can pencil him in for one of those top 9 spots when he gets back, because probably by that time, somebody will be traded. But for where they're at right now they have 9 guys. And I said it actually as soon as Honzek was ruled out for the rest of the season. I said, it's horrible. It's really, it's a brutal break. By the same token, I wonder if it takes a little bit of the pressure off some of these other guys who no longer have to look over their shoulder every single night. And that's, I think, really been reflected in the last few weeks. And it's a blessing and a curse, but hopefully Honzek's able to come back and then be his own part of it next season. The Flames do get this game started off pretty early on. It is Yegor Sharangovich opening the scoring for the 2nd consecutive night, although this time it was not 19 seconds in. Goals against goalies in the last 2 games by doing just that.
Yeah, I would say like the combined distance of his goals from the crease is probably like 2 feet.
2 feet if that,
yeah, on those last 2 goals. So yeah, it's exactly what you want to see. And the other nice thing on that play is that Mackenzie Weegar finally got a bounce to go his way.
True.
It just feels like it's just been one of those years where literally nothing has gone right for the guy. And just to see him, you know, get a bounce off Yegor's arm, get an assist, hopefully get some confidence going. That was also kind of nice to see on that play as well.
Oh, the bounces were just nowhere for the Flames in the first half of the season, or for first month of the season. Weegar was a prime example of that. Yegor was a prime example of that. And maybe things are starting to turn. The underlying numbers for a lot of the guys on this Flames team have improved dramatically over the last probably 4 to 6 weeks, and it's starting to turn into actual production, which maybe not the greatest thing if you're watching on the part of Team Tank, but ultimately it's just the way that it goes. These things are bound to regress, and the season is a long season. There will be plenty of time for them to win games and plenty of time for them to lose games. But yes, that is Yegor's 5th goal of the season. Weegar and Nazem Kadri getting the assists on that one. And shortly thereafter, again, another weird one.
Yeah, speaking of bounces.
Yeah, Rasmus Andersson with a
Mackenzie Weegar, where it seems like everything Rasmus touches is going into the net. So yeah, he continues his strong play. I think that's now 15 points in his last 12 games.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's on fire right now. And just the guy can do no wrong. It's crazy.
Yeah. It was Shane Doan who broke his stick and scored in a shootout once upon a time. That was one of the greasiest goals I've ever seen. And I think that was even a shootout winner. And with Rasmus, he got that one to go from very, very long range. Matty Coronado and Nazem Kadri again getting the assists on that goal. Kadri, again, was named the first star of this game with a goal and 2 assists. We'll get to his goal in a minute. First, though, in the second period, it was Tage Thompson with an absolute bullet of a shot. Holy smokes. This year just sort of get boiled down to goaltending for me. Their underlines are okay. Like, they shouldn't be last in the East based on the way that they've been out shooting their opponents. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a goal that Dustin Wolf didn't really have much of a chance on. The Sabres did score another goal later on that got called back. That was shortly after the Flames scored their 3rd goal. And that was one that Wolf, maybe missed on a little bit.
Yeah.
But aside from that, goaltending was a huge difference tonight. I think with Wolf versus Luukkonen, it was just a matter of, neither guy had a banner night, the kind of night that he'll be remembering, but it was still a matter of Wolf made the better saves.
Yeah, and he stepped up and made the saves when he had to, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen did not do that at all. Like, I totally agree with you. Goaltending, I think, is probably the number one source of why the Sabres have struggled this year. Like, their road record is awful. They're the worst road team in the NHL. I think coaching's an issue there too. I don't think Lindy Ruff is the answer. Like, they need to find like their Spencer Carberry or Ryan Huska kind of guy to get that team going. Like, I agree. The Buffalo is a really interesting team because they're extremely skilled. Like, tonight, they had the puck on their stick the whole game. Like, they controlled that game, but they just didn't do anything with it. It was totally weird. They would possess the puck for like 30 seconds and then they would turn it over. So they do all this great work and then they just piss it all away with the turnover, and that just seemed to happen all game for them.
It was funny. Like, I remember Dan Vladar when he was here. He had this weird knack for as soon as the Flames would get a lead, he'd start allowing goals.
And
it was
too.
Oh my God. And it was just like, this guy can play incredibly when his team doesn't need him to make saves. But when they do need him to make saves, he would just fall apart. And tonight was kind of a weird one for the Sabres, where it wasn't even that they would get leads because they never led in this game. It was when they would get within one. Luukkonen or Lyon or whoever would just, fall apart. I guess Lyon didn't allow any goals, but still, Luukkonen was just, he just completely whiffed on a number of different chances for the Flames tonight. And just how the breaks go. I think also, we've heard so much about culture as it pertains to the Flames and the whole notion of the Flames building a culture and whatnot. And there rightfully has been a little bit of scorn towards that because, the whole thing with the Flames is culture is great, but they don't have the pieces. Well, Buffalo has the pieces, and that's an instance where the culture does matter, where you're building something, and I think the morale around that organization is extremely low. I watched a lot of the Arizona Coyotes for strange reasons. They're not doing a whole lot better in Utah right now. They're just absolutely falling off the map. But, when they were in Zona at times, there were just, I remember the one year where they went off to a really great start. Actually, their last year in Phoenix, they had a great start. They were in a Central Division playoff spot, and immediately the relocation stuff starts coming out. And I think they lost like 15 of their next 18 games. Because it was a huge distraction. And I don't think the distractions in Buffalo are as acute as that, where it's, impending existential threat type thing. But if I was in Buffalo, I just always have that hanging over my head. And that's what they looked like they had it hanging over their head tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when I was watching this game, I kept thinking to myself, I was like, if the Buffalo Sabres just worked as hard as the Calgary Flames or played defense as hard as the Flames do, I think they would be a playoff team. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that they have the talent to do something to make the playoffs consistently. Like, I really think that they're that talented. But they're rotten to their core. I don't know what it is. Like you said, I mean, it's just this impending doom, this dark cloud that follows them around. But you know what? I really think if they make a coaching change and they bring in somebody that can implement some systems and they can play defense, I think they're good to go. But I don't know if that's going to end up happening because it feels like the owner loves Lindy Ruff in that town.
Well, that's the thing. We of all people know what it feels like when there's, differences in philosophy with ownership. And that seems to be the case in Buffalo. It's been 14 years of very similar things. We do have a super chat. We do have a super chat from our buddy Shrimp on the Bobby with another $2 Australian. I need to know what the exchange rate on that is. Jack, get on that. Figure out what that exchange rate is. Shrimp on the Barbie with 2 Aussie dollars. Talking about how the Flames are 7-2-1 in the last 10. They're doing it again, aren't they? Sure, maybe. Yeah, entirely possible. I mean, they're on a little good run. Every team sort of has these runs. Doesn't matter how bad you are, how good you are. Sort of going back to the Zona thing. In their last year in the desert, they beat the previous 5 Stanley Cup champions in sequence. And they still ended up picking pretty high.
Where do you see this team going for the rest of the year?
I think they're going to continue to be relatively good, just like better than they have been. I don't think they're going to be good enough to get out of the basement. They've got a tough schedule. I think if there is a saving grace, they have a number of home games. Like they've played a lot on the road, but it's not that lopsided. I think they will continue to play around 500 the rest of the way. They might go on a couple of losing streaks that put them sort of closer to where people expect them to be. I think they're going to end up with a good pick. I think.
What's a good pick though? Are you talking top 5, top 8, top 10,
top 7?
Okay,
yeah, somewhere in there. With and you know what? I could see it. Maybe this is the year they fixed the lottery for him. So I don't know. I'm just sort of enjoying the ride, Bobby. We got 50 games left.
That's what you have to do when you cover the team on a day-by-day basis. You have to just enjoy every day of it.
I will start. I was on the tank stuff at the start of the year, and now I am. Now we're 50 games away from the end of the season, and my thought process is get me back to the Tankathon website after the Olympics.
Yeah,
I no longer care. Just I wanna watch enjoyable hockey games. Maybe that makes me a bad person. I don't know.
Well, dude, if you're thinking about tanking like after every single game, and like you're doing warmies, you're writing articles, you're doing afterburners, and if you're just in that tank mindset for the entire season, it's going to be a miserable existence for you. So like,
dark place, Bobby.
It is. It's a terribly dark place.
Oh, my mind has encountered horrors beyond any comprehension in the chat. Nobody in the chat knows. It's a constant undying struggle, but we're here. We're here and we're enjoying ourselves.
Yes.
And that is what matters. We have another super chat, Bobby. $4.99, and these are Canadian dollars. No exchange rate required. Cheeks McGee, that's a great name. Major trade value go up. I am hearing McKenna is falling apparent in NCAA, 3 question marks. Yeah, I mean, he's having an iffy year. I think the World Juniors will be a real litmus test. I think it'll be an opportunity for him to get back on his stride. And I think it's good that there's so many good options for the Flames this year. I don't know. I think regardless, they're going to find a way to get somebody good.
If they could find a way to get a top 3 pick, I think they would be ecstatic. It feels like the top 3 guys are truly elite franchise-changing players, and then maybe it takes like a little bit of a step back starting at 4. So, I mean, in an ideal world, they win the lottery and they somehow pick top 3. I honestly, I'm kind of with you. I feel like they're going to finish with, anywhere from the 6th to the 11th overall pick, because I do think
I think they'll be worse than that.
Just with the way they're coached, the defense they play, the goaltending, penalty kill, like they do a lot of things that are going to keep them competitive and keep them in tight games and push games to overtime where they're picking up loser points. Like I just got this feeling that they're going to finish, at a pretty decent clip between now and the end of the season.
Well, they're still in 29th, so we shall see. They've been playing very well. They're not going to wear the Blasty jerseys forever.
I think it's gonna be like a slow burn though, where it's like they climb like a spot or 2 every month kind of thing.
Yeah.
Now, if they trade veterans, that's a game changer for them, because then they can really bottom out. Like if around the deadline, if they move Coleman and Anderson, like it's game over for this team.
Yeah, certainly, no doubt about it.
I just don't know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's very fair. If injuries pile up, well, we don't know. There's still lots in the offing. They're not going to really have to worry about guys going to the Olympics and getting hurt. So they maybe have an advantage in that sense. They'll be rested up after the break. I don't know. It's all very broad scale stuff to me. And I mean, Matt C says they're not trading anybody. I still think they'll trade somebody. I just don't know. I mean, Rasmus, the whole notion around Rasmus, and we really should get back to talking about the game, but with Rasmus, I mean, I put it about 70-30. I think 70% they trade him, 30% they find a way to re-sign him.
Yeah.
Coleman, I put it about 1 in 4 that they trade him.
Really, Kadri, that high, hey? For this season?
Yeah. Kadri, I put it around 1 in 100.
Yeah.
The way that I see it is 70% for Rasmus, 25% for Blake. And the only reason I say that is because Dallas has a glaring area of need with Sagan being hurt. If it wasn't Dallas specifically that had a major injury, then I would be lower. But because it's specifically Dallas, I could see it being a package type thing.
I wonder with Coleman having that extra year in his deal, I wonder if that would impact things, because they got to sign Robertson. Sagan will be back next year. Like they're going to be in a cap crunch,
Do the retain 50. That's if you're going to retain on anybody, it's got to be Coleman.
Yeah.
So that's the way that I see it. But we'll see. There's lots of stuff in the air, and yeah, with Kadri, I put it about 1%. I can't. He's
going to have to go to the team in order for that to happen, which is backwards. But
no chance.
The reality of it.
The Flames, they did play a game tonight, in the second period after Tage scored. We're going to get to the super chat in a minute. After Tage scored, it was Jonathan Huberto who got his 6th goal of the season.
They have a hard time scoring these types of plays where it's like a tic-tac-toe passing play. Like those just don't happen with this group. So to see 2 of them tonight was actually kind of a nice change of pace for this group.
Yeah, it was. It really was. Buffalo got back in it again. This game really followed an accordion-like back and forth over the second and into the third. Owen Power getting his 3rd goal of the season.
Yeah, like you said, I think the Flames they were hemmed in their own zone for a minute 30. Like you said, a broken stick there. It's just a train wreck of a shift. And I had mentioned earlier that it was good to see Mackenzie Weegar get a bounce to go his way, and hopefully that helped with his confidence. But honestly, from that point forward in the game, I thought Weegar and Kuznetsov really struggled tonight. I thought they got hemmed in their zone a lot, and that shift was a perfect example of it. And we'll see it on another Buffalo goal here coming up.
And yet we will have one of those players scoring a goal to discuss later on. There's all sorts of different layers to tonight's postgame. It was the Flames scoring next. This was a beautiful play. Yegor and Farabee setting up Nazem Kadri off of a Sabres turnover.
Example right there of the mistakes the Sabres were making that led to the puck going in the back of their net.
Yeah, I get they're playing Buffalo and whatnot, but that line just works so well. I'm a huge fan of the way those 3 players complement each other. Their underlying numbers have gone through the roof. Just sort of slick skill, and I like what I'm seeing a lot from that trio. Hope they keep them together the rest of the year, because screw it, why not, right? I mean, just keep playing, keep playing these lines if they work, right?
Honestly, most of the forward lines are working right now for the most part. Yeah.
Absolutely. And hey, after that, it was Rasmus Dahlin. It was the other Sabres #1 overall pick defenseman. And good to see him get on the board amidst a bit of a fraught situation with him this year. Just lots going on in his personal life and whatnot. And he gets his 2nd of the year to make it a 1-goal game yet again. Of course, it would not last, but the Sabres once again get close.
That's that JJ Peterka trade is actually looking pretty good for the Sabres right now. I mean, when they first made it, I was thinking, I'm like, is that really enough for him? But Kesselring was good prior to his injury, and Josh Doan has been fantastic this year too. Like it's almost looking like a bit of a home run for the Sabres.
If Buffalo ever makes more moves, subtracting from their roster, holy moly, what I wouldn't give for the Flames to get Josh Doan. Been a huge fan of that guy for years. He's got his dad's skill and more. He is terrific, and Buffalo has a really, really good player there. Kesselring, he hasn't been healthy all year, so hopefully he gets back in for Buffalo at some point, because their defense could pretty much use him. And then after that, it was the Flames back up 5-3. Again, this game was just back and forth a few weeks, but good to see Yan get rewarded, jumping into the play and making something happen.
Yeah, and like the Flames got lucky there that Blake Coleman didn't get a tripping call.
Yeah,
I thought that was a clear penalty, but they decided to not call it. And good on Kuznetsov for taking advantage of all that chaos going down there and finding the quiet area, and the puck slipped to him and he put it in. Like good on him. It was a smart play by Kuznetsov.
That goal spelled the end for Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, who allowed 5 goals for the Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres have a 3-headed monster between the pipes with Luukkonen, Alex Lyon, and Colton Ellis, not including Devin Levi, who is currently with AHL Rochester. And
calling it a 3-headed monster is very complimentary for
that's
that
the
group
thing.
Of guys.
It's a 3-headed something.
Yeah,
it's not good. And the Sabres have to figure that out. They're sending down good young players like Noah Ostlund and Isaac Rosén because they don't have room for them. So that's bad. If I was Buffalo, I would probably try to find a way to fix that. And tonight they just weren't very good. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen gets pulled. Alex Lyon comes in. The Flames end up kind of playing the third period in their own end, as you might expect, leading by 2 against a pretty non-threatening Sabres team. With the goalie pulled, though, late in this one, it was Alex Tuck with a long-range deflection.
Yeah, if you've got video ready to go, because that was awesome.
There was all sorts of stuff happening in this game. It was Jonathan Huberdeau almost getting into a fight with Ryan McLeod. Don't know if we've got the Wolf fracas. Here it is.
Oh yeah, here we go.
This was
Peyton Krebs is really... just he's going at Wolf's glove. Like Wolf clearly has it, and then boom, gets up, punches him right in the face with the blocker. Yeah, outstanding work by Dustin Wolf.
The old Billy Smith there from Dustin Wolf. That's a hefty right, and 6'0". He's got a lot of strength in that blocker hand, and he kind of made Peyton Krebs go down like a sack of bricks right there. And with the ensuing power play, penalty kill, after the penalty kill here, there was some talk that Wolf might go for the empty net himself. Because, he's been known to go out of his net and play the puck every now and then. Instead, the Flames scored 2 empty netters of their own with non-goaltender players. It was Michael Backlund who got the first one off of just an absolute tire fire effort by the Sabres, and Yegor getting a second of the night and 6th of the year, making it a 7-4 game with mere seconds to play, cementing the Flames' 12th victory of the season, Robert.
Yeah, it's good to see Sharangovich pick up some points. I think he's the type of player that he needs to produce in order to be effective.
Mm-hmm.
When he's not producing, he's not a great defensive player. He's not a great penalty killer, all that kind of stuff. So when he's not producing, it's kind of ugly. So to see him pick up 3 points tonight was good. Doesn't really matter how the puck went in. I know it went off his arm and one in the empty net. Does not really matter to me. A goal is a goal. So I'm happy for him to see him, put a couple pucks in the back of the net.
Yeah, I think with Yegor, it's all about consistency. I think it's all about he can be a consistent player if he's being used consistently. And I think what we've seen at the start of the season, where it was just a different look every single night, it's just what is the expectation for any of these players? Like you were seeing guys like Sharangovich and Zary and even Coronado at times playing with Lomberg and Kirkland. And it's like, okay, what's the plan here? What are you looking for from these players? What is the role that you're expecting them to play? And it was quite ill-defined. And the Flames lost 8 consecutive games during a just miserable stretch for all 3 of those players. But I think, we have seen Yegor be effective on the PK before. We've seen him be effective on the power play before. I am happy to see that he's being effective at 5-on-5 because to me, he has always been more of a special deployment type player. You deploy him in these situations and you kind of take the good with the bad at 5-on-5. Well, at 5-on-5 this year, Yegor's numbers have just skyrocketed. And I think I pointed it out earlier today. No Flames forward has been on the ice for more shots on goal for over the last month than Yegor Sharangovich. So good stuff there. Continued tonight. And that line, there's something to be said for chemistry and consistency among your line mates. And it's working for all 3 forward lines right now. Folks in the chat are asking us to talk about Yan Kuznetsov. I mean, it's been great. I think there's lots to talk about as far as the Flames graduating, multiple defensemen this year. Yan Kuznetsov is one of them who has probably graduated to the greatest extent. Zane Parekh, obviously, in the news, going to Team Canada for the World Juniors. Stephen Ellis for Daily Faceoff told me a couple days ago that the odds of him making that team are 145%. So he will be there. No Hockey Canada shenanigans this time. And Hunter Brustevich comes up with Jake Bean slightly beleaguered in some sense, and curious to see when or if Brustevich gets into the lineup. Flames do return to action against Detroit in a couple days. We won't get to the road ahead just yet, but good to see another young defenseman coming up into the rotation for Calgary.
How do you see that playing out? Do you think he's going to get a game in?
Yeah, Pike and I discussed this before on the warmies before the game. I don't know necessarily. I mean, I don't think they're really going to change a whole lot after tonight. But by the same token, I don't think Huska is extremely enamored with Pahal or Bean at this point. I don't necessarily know that either guy has been a disaster, but I just think that he would like to see a little bit more. And I think the opportunity to pair a guy like Brustevich with Joel Hanley is really something. So, Brustevich, I think Hanley's underlying numbers have been just terrific this year.
Fantastic.
Like I think that is a really interesting opportunity to be able to deploy those 2 guys as a pair. So I don't know again about the Detroit game. I think there's a lot, I think the Flames will want to play a pretty veteran roster in that game against a Detroit team that's been hot and cold this year. But after that, I mean, assuming that he's still up, I would love to see Hunter be in the lineup. And if they do move Rasmus at some point this year, you're going to be seeing a lot of them regardless.
Yeah. And I thought Pahal was actually pretty solid tonight for the most part. I think he's been pretty solid all year, but I do think there's another level that Hunter Brustevich could get to compared to Pahal, mainly in the puck moving department, the offensive departments. And like you said, I think Hanley and Brustevich could be a really effective pairing. And, the Flames, they were not great tonight. Like, This was one of those games where, coaches, they always want to keep the same lineup after a win. This doesn't feel like that type of game because they were not that good tonight. I actually thought they got a little lucky to win this game. And, I could see him making the change for Brustevich. And I think the reason he wasn't in the lineup tonight is, I mean, he was on like a 10-game road trip in the American Hockey League. So, and he just got back to town, didn't even really have a chance to get to skate all that much with the guys. So my guess is that he actually will get in the lineup on Wednesday.
We're going to get into some of the super chats, but before we do that, Pro Kids Phantom X, Jack put this one up on the screen. We need to see this. Mike looks fake tonight. No offense. Don't know what that means. I have a new lighting setup, courtesy of the good folks at the Nation Network, so I appreciate that. Maybe I just need to fine tune it. Maybe make my light a little bit warmer. Jux JC says that I look glowing. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's very, very kind of you. We do have a couple of super chats. Of course, proceeds from the super chats benefit the youth centers of Calgary. First one coming from Marvin with $5 Canadian. I always say celebrate the victories, but be happy for the losses. Basically a win-win situation to contain our misery. Law, don't disagree.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, the only one that I would disagree with is whenever they're playing Utah or Edmonton. That's my personal.
Why Utah? I thought you were a Utah guy.
Oh no, Bobby.
No.
No,
okay.
Bobby. No. No, when Arizona gets the team back, then Utah is going to be enemy number one. So
interesting.
That's the whole thing, right? Core 20, $2, super chat. Sharky's proven me wrong these last few games. I don't know. I mean, I think there's plenty of reasons to have been dissatisfied with the play of Yegor Sharangovich early on in the season. I think there were different factors at play, and I think we're not out of the woods just yet. I just think that when you deploy a guy in certain ways and are constantly changing around lines and whatnot, it's going to be really difficult for them to generate a whole lot. So, I mean, I make no mistake, Yegor has been so much better since being put on this line with Nazem Kadri and Joel Farabee. I think those two guys have helped him a lot. I think he has actually done a lot to help them. But yeah, he's deserving of some praise with the way that he's played the last few games.
This is just another example of why the coaching staff needs to listen to the fans more. We were clamoring for Yegor and Connor Zary to be put on the same line. When we were calling it during October, they wouldn't listen to us. They finally listened to us, and look at this. They're one of the top 16 teams in the league.
Yegor Sharangovich. This is the Yegor Sharangovich hour. We want all the Yegor Sharangovich super chats because
I do want him to shoot the puck more, though.
I know. And that's the thing is I have been maintaining the Flames power play. Their top unit is still a little bit anemic for me. Yeah. I would love to see some different looks. I would love to see them swapping in some different guys. And I don't know. Yegor's a guy who has been good there before. There's lots of different combos that work though. And I think at 5-on-5, he's starting to shoot the puck more, and I want to see it more consistently.
Yeah. Like his individual shot attempts this year are 8th on the team.
Wow.
With 69. Very nice.
Ooh.
So like you definitely want to see that. Like
definitely.
He needs to be a top 3 guy in shots on this team. Like his shot is that good. He needs to start using it more.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Hey, we're going to just get right to something here. The Calgary Health Foundation. So Bobby, I don't know if you're familiar, but over the last few afterburners here, I've made a commitment, and we'll get to it in a second here, but we're just going to lay some groundwork here. Lanny McDonald, incredible comeback, a ton of help from the Calgary Health Foundation to help him get back on his feet after he survived a cardiac arrest at the Calgary airport. His greatest assist came from the incredible team at the Foothills Medical Center, and now he's giving back, teaming up with the Calgary Health Foundation to raise funds for upgraded cardiac catheterization labs that help doctors diagnose and treat heart disease faster and better than ever. So if you go to givehealth.ca, you can learn more, you can donate, and you can give until December 31st. The Calgary Health Foundation will match all donations. Now, on a show a few games ago, I made a commitment. At this point, I think it was the November 28th show. I committed to give $25 for each point Connor Zary and Yegor Sharangovich recorded by the end of the calendar year.
Calgary Health Foundation loves you right now.
Calgary Health Foundation loves me right now. Yegor Sharangovich with 3 points tonight. The empty net goal later on in the third period, a goal early on in the first, and then the assist on the Nazem Kadri goal. I believe I need to do some just quick maths here, but Zary, of course, has gotten a couple of points. Yegor had the goal against Utah in the last game, so that's $100 just for Yegor so far. And of course, these are all getting matched. And then for Connor Zary, Holy smokes! I should have done some more prep for this. Zari's had a couple of goals in the last couple of games. He had the goal against Utah, and he had the goal against Minnesota. So, and I forget. Oh, I don't know. Am I doing the assist against Florida too? I don't remember. I'll have to go back and check the tapes. Either way,
do it for charity. Come on, throw it in there. Why not?
I'll have to check the tapes. We'll get the exact figures. This is all very scientific, but for Yegor, that is now $100 for Yegor and either $50 or $75 for Connor Zary so far for the Calgary Health Foundation. Keep it up, boys. I take full responsibility for these guys turning it around. I know they are out there listening to all the words that I say, hanging on each word. And here we are. It's for a great cause. And of course, all that's getting matched. So for Yegor, that 100 becomes 200. For Zary, that 50 becomes 100. If it's 75, it becomes 150. There you go. It's all great stuff. I think it was Kent who said he was going to do the same bet, but for Lomberg.
He should donate like $500 for every point that Lomberg gets.
He should. But yeah, so that's good stuff for the Calgary Health Foundation. It really is a great story. You got to go to give. Sorry, one sec. It was givehealth.ca. Watch the video with Lanny McDonald. You've probably seen the advertisements on TV. It's really moving stuff, and it all goes to a great cause. So that's the good stuff from Yegor and Connor Zary, and from myself to the Calgary Health Foundation and Robert. We still got 23 days left in this month.
Yeah, there's a lot of games to go here.
There's a lot of games to go.
You could be writing a pretty big check.
You know what? I don't have a problem with that.
Goes to a good cause. It's great.
And you know what? It furthers the Yegor agenda. And that is what we truly care about on the Afterburner show. Get those super chats in. It's good stuff for the youth centers of Calgary. It's great. It's great. We're really having a great time. Hey, we're going to talk a little bit about the road ahead. Brought to you by the good folks up at Platinum Mitsubishi, 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. The 2025 model year clear out is officially on up at Platinum Mitsubishi with available savings of up to $10,000 on select 2025 models still in stock and 0% financing available. Go check out the Outlander PHEV, the Eclipse Cross, the RVR, and all sorts of other great pre-owned deals available up at 2720 Barlow Trail Northeast. And remember, those Mitsubishis, they have a 10-year, 160,000 kilometer powertrain warranty. Well, Bobby, the Flames are back in action 2 days from now, Wednesday evening at the Saddledome. They will not be wearing Blasty. They'll be wearing their red uniforms against a team that wears red and white, the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit in action tonight as we speak, and they don't really have a whole lot of they don't really have a very good opponent tonight. Maybe
What's the score?
Maybe
last
the
I
new
checked, it was like 3-0.
Maybe the new leading Gavin McKenna contender, the Vancouver Canucks, as the score in that game right now in Vancouver. Oh, that game just ended 4-0. The final score for the Detroit Red Wings.
That's like a jersey on the ice kind of game in Vancouver. Oh, boy.
Goals from James Van Riemsdyk, Andrew Kopp, Nate Danielson, and Dylan Larkin as the Red Wings shut out the Canucks on home ice. Vancouver outshot Detroit 39-20. And they still lost in a big, big way.
Do you see their lines today without Elias Pettersson?
Oh, my God.
Their center depth is a joke.
Horrendous. It's horrendous.
It's a joke. It's so bad. Oh, I agree with you. I actually think they're like the leading contenders for McKenna now. Them in Nashville. I think it's going to be quite a battle between those two.
This exemplifies the whole situation in Vancouver. Before Yegor got hot, during that whole awful stretch at the start of the year, I was seeing Canucks fans say, wow, we got no centers. Might as well try this guy.
I saw that too.
With like 2 points in 15 games at that point. And, you know, he's year 1 of 5. But he's got a modified no trade. You think he'd waive? And it's like, okay. You know, for one, he's a winger. And for two, what are you doing? What are you talking about? Yeah. So, but the Detroit Red Wings, not a terrible team, not a team that I would characterize as particularly good, but they are a team in the Eastern Conference in the playoff picture, or at least somewhere around the fringes. Actually, you know what? As of tonight, they are leading the Atlantic Division. Although that's
they're having a good year.
Well, it's not really that much of an accomplishment. Leading the Atlantic Division with 35 points. For reference, the second wildcard team has 34.
Yeah. But they're in the mix. They're right there.
They're in the mix. They are in the mix. I will give them that. 16-11-3 through 30 games this season, just 1 point up on the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Detroit, that is the next team up in the road ahead for the Calgary Flames. After that, The Flames wait until Saturday as they're going to head on their dad's trip, their road trip to Southern California. It'll be the LA Kings, their opponents, on Saturday night at 8 p.m. That'll be the late game on Hockey Night in Canada. They'll follow that up by taking on the San Jose Sharks a couple of nights later. So it's going to be an interesting little run here for the Calgary Flames. The Sharks will be on the following Tuesday. That game also at 8 p.m.
Mm-hmm. You know, you talked about the schedule a little bit when we were having a discussion there, and I actually think their schedule is very winnable over the next 2 months. So, like, you got Detroit, who's, you know, they're good, but they're not great. LA, good, not great. And then you got San Jose, Seattle, 2 against Edmonton, Boston, Philly. And then you go over to the new year in January, and you got Nashville, Seattle, Montreal, Boston, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Chicago, Islanders, Devils without Jack Hughes, Penguins. Like, these are all like pretty winnable games for the Calgary Flames right now. Like this upcoming schedule to me screams going like slightly above 500, which I know Team Tank is terrified to hear.
It's entirely possible. I wonder how sustainable their current stretch is, but yeah, by the same token, certainly not impossible at all. They have played well in the last 3 games. I don't know how much of it is the jerseys that they're wearing, but it's been a good run for the Flames. Again, they are 7-2-1 in their last 10. They have 3 good top 9 lines that are all sort of gelling with each other. They have 2 goaltenders who are playing well.
Yeah, I mean, the reason I think that not the 7-2-1 is sustainable, but if you go back to November 1st, I believe they're 10-7-2. That feels somewhat sustainable to me because the way they're winning these games is not through lucky bounces. It's not through a shooting percentage heater. It's through defense. It's through goaltending. It's through the penalty kill. It's coaching. Those are kind of the main drivers of them being in these games. And those elements of their game, I think, are fairly sustainable. If they were just, like I said, if they're just on like a shooting percentage heater and guys were just playing out of their minds, then I don't think it would have been. But I think those elements, they're pretty sustainable things to keep up for the Flames.
It's the Warmies run for the Flames. We introduced the Warmies on November 11th, and since then they've been fantastic. So
there it is.
You know what? You're welcome, or sorry, depending on who you are watching.
Don Maloney loves you, Mike.
Oh, I know. Yeah, Don Maloney. He's having a great night tonight. Hey, it's turning into a great night. We got another super chat from MP Squared or MP 2000, whatever it is. Another Australian super chat. These Aussies, they love us. These are $2.99 Australian dollars. I don't know what that means. I don't know how many pesos or euros or dollary dues, whatever that's worth.
Dollary dues. I like that.
Keep it up, boys. Love from Sydney. We appreciate it. If I could fly down to Sydney right now and watch the Flames at a local establishment with you, I would take you up on that. But it's we appreciate all the support from down under.
So $2.99 Australian is $2.75 Canadian.
Oh, that's pretty close.
So thank you for the $2.75.
There you go. That's the Youth Centers of Calgary. Thanks y'all very much. That's the road ahead, brought to you by Platinum Mitsubishi. Some real good Mitsubishi models down in Australia. Hopefully we'll get some of them up here, but for now we got some excellent ones as it stands. That Eclipse Cross, it's nice. Go check it out. Some really good deals available on the 2025s. It's like, you know, so many overpriced vehicles out there. Just go up to Platinum Mitsubishi. They got good deals for you.
Are you rocking a Mitsubishi these days? What are you driving?
Oh, of course. Fantastic. I've got an RVR. I've got a 2019 RVR. Had a guy come up to me at the store today. Said he's a big fan of the show. That was nice. There's lots of people. People are talking. There's it's not quite Jux JC staring at me at South Center, but it's good stuff. So yeah, going up to Platinum. We should talk a little bit about some more stuff. The Unicorn, really good spot. Really good spot. I don't know, Bobby, how much you've patronized the Unicorn this season. I need to head down there. The problem with my schedule is I do warmies and then I have to watch the game and then I do Afterburner so many nights. But I do think I have one coming up where I do the warmies and then I get to relax. And I think the next time that happens, I'm going to go down to the Unicorn because it's Calgary Super Pub and it is gosh darned convenient for me living centrally. They got 2 locations that are just fantastic, both walkable, not only walkable local downtown, but walkable to the Dome if you want to do that. One location, 223 8th Avenue Southwest, one location, 1919 4th Street Southwest. They're both tremendous spots. If you're going to watch the game, if you're going to watch some football, the season is wearing on. You and Jack were having a chat about football when I signed on to the stream. I didn't know what you were talking about, but I'm sure it's very exciting. And yeah, there's so much going on. You can throw some darts, you can play some buck hunter. There's all sorts of stuff up in the air at the Unicorn. So head on down to one of their 2 locations and have yourself an absolute ball. Bobby, do you have any New Year's plans? I bet the Unicorn's doing something for New Year's.
No New Year's plans, but I'll look into it for sure.
Oh, you better. You better.
Unicorn would be the spot to go to.
It's the spot. It's the spot.
Especially the one on Stephen Ave there. It gets pretty wild.
It's 3 stories.
Yeah.
It's three floors, 3 bars. It's like, whoa.
Doesn't get any better than that.
I didn't know they tried. I didn't know anybody had tried that before. But it's just like, whoa, it's pretty impressive stuff. So head on down to the Unicorn, and hey, maybe that's where I'll watch the Flames take on Detroit after we do the warmies in a couple of days' time. I don't know if I'm even doing the Afterburner show. I don't know anything anymore.
You're living day by day.
We're 49 minutes into this show. We're just sort of riffing at this point. If you're just joining us, the Calgary Flames defeating the Buffalo Sabres by a 7-4 score in tonight's game at the Scotiabank Saddledome. There's still lots of things to discuss. I mean, as it pertains to this particular hockey game. I mean, Rasmus Andersson, you were sort of talking about him upping his trade value to a certain extent. The thing that I wonder about, there was so much wild speculation that was going around last night when Hunter Brzustevich was scratched with the Calgary Wranglers. People were saying, "Oh, what's going on? Is there some sort of move?" The Flames, they just don't have many right-handed defensemen in their system. They've got the big ones. They've got Zane and they got Hunter and they got Muse. They got nobody else on the right side. I am so fascinated to see what plays out over the next 2 months here as it pertains to Rasmus Andersson.
My prediction is that they're going to try to hold on to him for as long as possible. And because he's such a major part right now, this team winning games. And I do think Ryan Huska, Craig Conroy, Don Maloney, I think they all want to get this team out of the basement. And I think Rasmus Andersson's going to be a huge part in doing that. And I really believe that they're going to try to hold on to him probably up until the week of the trade deadline. And then all bets are off from there. I just think not only do they want to get out of the basement, I do think they still want to push for that wild card spot. And Andersson's gonna play a massive role if they can get themselves back in the mix for that. And hopefully it gives a little bit of more time for guys like Zane Parekh and Hunter Brzustevich to develop a little bit more and get ready for NHL minutes come March.
It is so fascinating to me, just the different politics and the different angles at play here. I mean, I maintain the idea of a Coleman Andersson package makes so much sense. If I'm the Dallas Stars, it addresses 2 of my needs at once, gets all my shopping out of the way early. Just like if I'm shopping for a new home.
What a transition!
Oh,
bravo!
Just like when you're shopping in multiple spots at once, you're looking at like different listings, you're looking at different sort of websites, different organizations, what have you. And here's the thing. You can save yourself so much time. You can save yourself a huge headache by just calling Derek Newman. You just give him a call. He's got a number. Like, put it in your contacts right now. 403-619-6661. Open up your phone. Open up your iPhone. Open up your Android. Just put it in there. Derek Newman. It's DERRICK. Newman.com. Like an oil derrick. Like Derek Pouliot. And get it in there. If you don't like phoning, if you're not a fan of inputting those digits, go to dnewman@cirrealty.ca or visit dereknewmangroup.com and he'll get you taken care of. There are Flames players who need to find some new lodging. I think Yan Kuznetsov, if he doesn't have a house already, needs to get on that. And if I'm Derek, I've got connections. I've got all sorts of different angles that I can play with as far as finding out, different ways to make my business work. And I'm just finding my way to getting Yazdan Kuznetsov's Rolodex, his contact book. Just get that connection going. If I'm Yan, I'm reaching out. So call Derek Newman if you need help buying or selling your home. You're going to be in good hands. And we're constantly trying to find new ways to build segues here at this store or on this show. Derek maybe will be a good resource for us going forward in that department, because we can only go to the well of buying or selling. Are the Flames going to be buyers or sellers so often? One thing kept occurring to me as I was watching tonight's game that was, going back to that buying and selling tack. A couple of guys on this Sabres team who strike me as future Flames. And can you guess who they are?
Well, you mentioned Peyton Krebs earlier.
I did mention Peyton Krebs. That was mostly tongue in cheek, but he was one of the guys who I thought of.
Well, I know you love Josh Doan. I feel like Josh Doan is a guy.
I wish. I think that's more of a pipe dream at this point. There is one guy in particular.
Owen Byram, Matthias Samuelsson.
There you go. You got it.
Okay.
You know, you talk about a Coleman Anderson package. Is there any future in which a Byram Krebs package makes sense for the Flames at any point?
Potentially. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Bowen Byram. I think he's a little overrated, and Peyton Krebs, I don't think he's done anything in the NHL. So I would probably push back on that personally. But yeah, that's just kind of how I feel about it.
Now, just take note, Bobby. I'm not saying this out of a position of I would do this. I'm saying this out of a position of, is this feasible? And I wonder, you know, the Sabres obviously are continually, perpetually open for business. And we know the Flames have had interest in Bowen Byram. This is not a hearsay. Oh, I saw that and through the grapevine. We know the Flames have been interested in Bo Byram dating back to last summer. And you think about it. I mean, obviously they have Yan Kuznetsov. They probably prefer him as a third pairing guy going forward. Kevin Ball, more of a stay-at-home type too. If you want a skater, a puck mover on the left side, does make some sense. But of course, the acquisition cost. What do you give up to get that guy? He's not the youngest guy. He's still, you know, he's 24, 25, but he's not 21. He's not 20. But I wonder if the acquisition cost is right. Those are two guys who I'd maybe have my eye on.
Yeah, you know, Flames. I'll rephrase my answer. It's not something that I would want to do, but it's something that I could see the Flames doing for sure. Yeah. I think you're bang on. They're in that age range. You know, there has been interest in the past, like you said. From a slotting perspective, having a left shot Bowen Byram in the top four does make sense too. It could complement Kevin Ball well, but I just don't think Bowen Byram is as good as people make him out to be. Like, you look at his underlines, they're a mess.
Wait, you don't think he's the next Quinn Hughes?
I really don't, Mike. I really don't. I'm not gonna lie.
What were those reports that were coming out earlier this season? You know, Vancouver views Bo Byram as like a Quinn Hughes light.
Yeah, like a replacement almost. Yeah,
to know about that. But in any event, just some food for thought. I could see that being, you know, in play at some point if the Flames decide they have a surplus of picks or something, or if Buffalo decides they want to move in a different direction. It's, you know, it does feel to me that there are a number of guys who have been connected to the Flames for so long over the years. And it feels like eventually they all come to fruition. I remember Chris Stewart being a perpetual Flames trade target for about 10 years, and he ends up coming to Calgary by way of waivers and plays 9 games for them. It always seems to find a way to happen in the end. And I just wonder if Bo ends up being a guy who maybe would end up playing for Calgary at some point down the line. What else do we have to talk about today, Bobby? I think one thing I got to ask you, maybe a bit of a personal question here, Bobby, at the 11 o'clock at night on a Monday night, very personal question. So just get ready for this. Bobby, are you going to be at the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament next month?
I don't think so.
Oh,
are you going?
I don't know yet.
You representing the boys? You going to be playing?
I don't know. I've asked, I've put the word out. I've seen if there's a gear to turn, and as far as I know, the gear, I don't know if it's turning. I don't know if the gears are in motion, but the request has been sent. Either way, I mean, if I was, you know, really intent upon making this possible, I could just go to nationgear.ca and sign up a team of 4 to 8 players to play some outdoor pond hockey over at the Jasper Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge, just outside there. And if I was to do that, I would know that I would have the opportunity to hang out with some former NHL players, with some, it says here, Nation Network personalities. Well, I'm a Nation Network, and I'm a personality, allegedly. So maybe, we'll see, and have a lot of fun. There will be live watch parties. There will be opportunities to lace them up, grab your crew, and get ready for an unforgettable weekend. Spots fill up fast, so head to nationgear.ca and register your team today. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And we got, Jack's doing it again. Jack is doing it again. We've got live Jack screen sharing with you here on the Afterburner. This is the pinnacle of technology. Unlike certain other sports networks, there is no artificial intelligence and on display on your screen right now. This is just all pure Jack producing magic right now on the screen. Use that link to register, the one that Jack is circling with vigor on this Monday night.
I hope we don't see the rest of Jack's tabs.
No,
let's be careful here, Jack.
No, yeah. It's not good stuff. It's. I think there's something in there about.
Don't.
Yeah, all right. A little too close to the sun, am I right, Jack? Yeah, all right. I won't say. I certainly won't say what I was thinking about there being hot ladies in your area. Am I right, Jack? Oh, what? Oh, something there? Am I getting closer?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
We better move on.
Rhett Warrener shirtless. All right. Hey, we're gonna get into the later part of our show. Keep getting those super chats in. Keep getting the good chats in. We're gonna read some more on the show. Ryan Pike is in our chat, mentioning how we're an hour in. We'd only probably just finished goal highlights. You're not that far off, Pike. We haven't gotten through a lot in this show, but it is what it is. Bobby, you got anything to say to our buddy Pike?
Hello, and I'm a massive fan.
Oh,
Ryan Pike, he is the best.
He is the best.
I was hanging out with him at Cowboys the other day when Boomer and Pinder were doing their live show. We had a great chat, talking all things Flames. Yeah,
where was my invite?
He is in a Calgary Flames encyclopedia. I don't think anybody else in the world knows as much about the Calgary Flames as Ryan Pike.
Well, here I'll put the comments to a test about some Calgary Flames trivia, and we'll see if Pike can get in on this as well. Last game against Utah, Yegor Sharangovich set a Flames record with the fastest earliest game-winning goal in Flames history, 16 seconds in. Okay. Who previously held that record for the earliest game-winning goal in Flames history? I'll give you a hint. It was in 2016-17. It was against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Chris Versteeg scored the second goal in that game.
Okay.
Also in the first minute of that game. But another player set the record 19 seconds into that game against the Leafs with the fastest game-winning goal in Flames history up until Saturday night against Utah. In the chat, if you've got the answer, let us know. It's not Matt Tkachuk. Pike's an absolute legend. I can't believe I wasn't invited to Cowboys. Oh, right. I was doing the warmies. Occupational hazard. We're going to get to our bet of the day from the good folks over at Bet365, where it's never ordinary. It just truly is never ordinary at Bet365. And I picked this one, Bobby, because it involves some familiar faces. The Buffalo Sabres taking on the Edmonton Oilers in tomorrow's game. I forgot to convert it to American units. Unfortunate. But the Oilers heavily favored against Buffalo.
As they should be. I mean, the Oilers, they're playing much better hockey as of late. And like I mentioned before, Buffalo is by far the worst road team in the NHL. I think they're now 2-11-2 after tonight. Like they are a mess. They've given up the most goals in the NHL on the road. They've scored the second least amount of goals on the road prior to tonight's game. So yeah, heading up to Edmonton with McDavid and company starting to play better. That is a recipe for disaster for the Buffalo Sabres.
The Buffalo Sabres have not won a game in regulation on the road since April 1st.
Oh, it's crazy.
Which is crazy, but it's true. Also, nobody in the chat has gotten it right yet. This is extremely obscure. Don't be guessing Sean Monahan. It was not him. But yeah, Buffalo at Edmonton. It's going to be a good one tomorrow night. The Sabres, back half of a back-to-back. Wouldn't it be funny if they just beat the Oilers, though? Wouldn't that be just perfect? I mean, the Oilers, I will hand it to them. Their underlying numbers were horrible in the first 2 months of the season. They are starting to pick it up a little bit, and they are the heavy favorites here. 1.45, which if you're not aware, that means that they're favored. So yeah, head on over to Bet365. It's truly never, ever, 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 ever ordinary at Bet365. Use that promo code NATION and get in on the game. It's going to be great. It's going to be a fantastic game on a Tuesday night. If you're just KQ, you missed the question. Before the game against Utah the other night, where Yegor scored the winning goal 16 seconds in, who previously held the record for the fastest game-winning goal in Flames history? We'll see if anybody can get it.
How obscure are we talking here?
We're talking obscure.
Like we're talking like I'm thinking like Alex Chason.
No. More obscure.
More obscure than Alex Chason?
More obscure.
Jesus.
More obscure.
So
this guy scored. This guy scored.
Third pairing kind of guy.
That's right. This guy scored 3 goals with the Flames.
Oh shit.
Was a Yote for a bit. And it was controversial.
It was controversial.
It was controversial. It was. He was a Yote for a bit after he was a Flame. That was critical.
Are you sure it's not Alex Chason?
Yeah, Alex Chason was never a Yote. Alex Chason was a Yote in preseason 1 year. But
and that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, but it was not Alex Chason. And no, it was not Derek Ryan, who never played for the Yotes. I will give it the answer away in a couple minutes. Not Adam Ruzicka either, but not a bad guess. You're sort of on the right tack, but this guy was not nearly as much of an NHLer as Adam Ruzicka was.
Three goals with the Flames.
I was going to say
Troy Brower or something like that, but no.
You'll get it. You'll figure it out. We'll just start wrapping this up here. As lots of great stuff on tonight's show. We want to thank the folks over at Bet365 at the Youth Centers of Calgary, over at the Derek Newman Group, of course, as always, up at Platinum Mitsubishi, both unicorn locations, and of course the Calgary Health Foundation and the Jasper Park Lodge, courtesy of Fairmont. Not Matt Lombardi either. I will give it away. 2016-17, early on in that season, it was Freddie Hamilton.
Freddie Hamilton.
19 seconds into a shutout win over the Toronto Maple Leafs on home ice for the Calgary Flames. And he was a future Yote, and it was controversial. They lost him on waivers to the Yotes, and Dougie got sad.
Poor Dougie.
Remember, it was so sad.
He was basically brought to the Flames to like babysit Dougie, or to give Dougie a friend, pretty much. Was it not? That's kind of sad.
Dougie needs friends, don't we all?
Yeah,
we have so many great friends in the chat. KQ, I think, is in disbelief about the answer to that particular question. Jack, did you know the answer to that question?
No, I would have never gotten that.
Remember Freddie Hamilton, Jack?
I do remember Freddie, yes.
Yeah, he was that wasn't a bad player. He played a game on Johnny's line, I think, once.
I genuinely love the Dougie to Freddie goal. That they scored when they because I think Johnny Gaudreau got the second assist on it, and that was actually a great moment that season.
I'm pretty sure it was a Freddie to Dougie goal, and the reason why I remember that is because I think Freddie whiffed hugely on a shot, and it went straight over to Dougie.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It was Freddie to Dougie. Yes.
Because I think Freddie had a wide open look. Yeah. And he just sort of muffed it. And Dougie was bearing in on the right side and just pounded it home.
Yeah, I think there were the strip jerseys that night. Just what a time to be a Flames fan.
A 7-4 win over the Buffalo Sabres gets us talking about Freddie Hamilton in December of the year of our Lord 2025. A perfect way to sum up a wonderful night here on the Afterburner Show. For our producer, Jack, and for my beautiful co-host, Robert Bobby Germany Munich. My name is Mike Gould, and thank you once again for tuning in to this edition of the Afterburner.